Sometimes he sold rice. Sometimes he worked as a laborer. And sometimes he farmed. He ran away from home 4 times. But all he got was deception. Despite this, he managed to manufacture his own car. Initially, the price and quality of his car was so low that people mocked him, forcing him to fail multiple times. It seemed like he had become accustomed to climbing up only to fall back down. But this habit made him so strong that eventually, this boy became the founder of Hyundai, the world's 3rd largest car manufacturing company. But how? Chung Ju-yung was born in 1915 in a village called Tongchon in Korea, which is now part of North Korea. At that time, Korea was a single country under Japanese rule. Chung was the eldest among 7 siblings, and due to poverty, the entire family worked in the fields. At just 14 years old, Chung had to drop out of school because of poverty and started working in the fields with his parents. He worked all day but earned so little that despite his hard work, he often had to sleep hungry. This situation forced him to think, would he spend his entire life like this? He was fed up with his life and ultimately ran away from home to Gwangju City, 100 kilometers away. There, he started working as a construction laborer. He worked hard but earned very little. However, he was happy in this situation because, for the first time, he was spending his earnings on himself and felt free. But this freedom lasted only 2 months. His parents, who were searching for him, found him and brought him back to the village. The happiness he had found in the city was snatched away, and he was sent back to work in the fields. But by then, he had tasted city life and didn't want to return to the village or the fields. He tried running away 2 more times, but was caught and brought back. 1 year, the harvest was so poor that the entire village faced a food shortage. People had to go hungry for days. Chung decided enough was enough and planned to run away for the 4th time. This time, he succeeded and reached Seoul, the capital of what is now South Korea. He had made it his life's mission to leave the village and settle in the city, no matter what it took. In Seoul, he took up any job he could find: construction work, factory work, and even cleaning. He had a quality. Whatever work he did it with dedication. After some time, he got a job delivering rice for a rice shop. He started delivering rice to people's homes on a bicycle, which significantly increased the shop's sales. The shop owner, pleased with his work, made Chung the manager. This was his first job where he didn't have to do manual labor. Soon, he increased the shop's sales even further. Meanwhile, the shop owner fell ill and could no longer run the business. So he sold the shop to Chung for a small price. The boy who had worked in the fields and run away from home 4 times became the owner of his own shop at just 22 years old. He worked hard, and within a short time, his rice shop became the best in the area. He was very happy, but then an incident occurred that turned his small happiness into sorrow. In 1937, a Japanese soldier went missing near the Marco Polo Bridge, and Japanese soldiers sought permission from China to search for him. When China refused, a conflict broke out, known as the Second Sino-Japanese War. This war lasted for 8 years, leading to a severe rice shortage in Korea and Japan. Since Korea was under Japanese control at the time, the Japanese government took control of all rice shops to manage the shortage. Chung's rice shop was also seized, and he was left unemployed once again. 2 years of hard work and savings were wiped out. But Chung didn't give up. He started looking for a business that the Japanese army couldn't take over. After considering many ideas, he decided to open a car repair shop. However, he had no money to start this business. He took a loan of 3,000 won and started a new business called Adu Service Garage. But things didn't go as planned. A fire broke out in the garage, destroying not only the garage but also the cars inside. Chung was held responsible for the damage. He was in deep trouble, having to repay the 3,000 won loan and compensate the customers. But he didn't lose hope. He took another loan of 3,500 won, reopened the garage, and gradually covered the losses. Over the next 2 years, Chung focused on growing his business. He started hiring people, and soon 70 to 80 people were working for him. His progress was so significant that he brought his entire family from the village to Seoul. But another challenge awaited him. World War II was ongoing, and Japan was involved in the war. The Japanese government needed workshops to produce war materials and started taking control of them. Eventually, Chung's garage was also seized by the Japanese government. But this time, Chung wasn't left with nothing. He had learned from his previous losses and saved 50,000 won to start another business. Shortly after, World War II ended, and with it, Japan's rule over Korea. Korea was now divided into North and South Korea. In 1946, Chung returned to Seoul and started a car repair business again, this time under the name Hyundai Auto Service. The word Hyundai means modern in Korean. Seoul was now part of South Korea, which was under American influence. American forces were often stationed in South Korea, and Chung noticed that the US Army needed buildings constructed for their accommodation. He thought that starting a construction business could lead to significant growth. In 1947, he established a construction company called Hyundai Civil Works. Initially, the company worked on small projects like building houses and roads, but Chung wanted bigger projects. However, circumstances once again disrupted his plans. On June 25, 1950, North Korea, supported by the Soviet Union, invaded South Korea. Seoul was near the North Korean border, so Chung sensed danger and fled to Busan. But even then, Chung didn't give up. He assessed the situation and thought of ways to profit from the war. He noticed that the US Army had arrived to support South Korea and needed tents, temporary houses, and buildings for accommodation. Chung restarted his construction business and offered his services to the US officials. Since the US was a superpower and budget wasn't an issue, they started giving orders to Chung's company. Chung and his team worked day and night to complete every project. The war eventually ended, but by then, Chung had built a good working relationship with the Americans. This relationship also improved his ties with the South Korean government. Many roads and bridges had been destroyed during the war, and the South Korean government awarded reconstruction projects to Chung's company, Hyundai. The company grew so much that it even built mega projects like dams. The Soyang Dam, South Korea's largest dam, was constructed by Hyundai, as was the Gyeongbu Expressway, the country's largest expressway. Because of Chung's good relations with the South Korean government and the Americans, he could easily import heavy machinery from the US and secure contracts early. While the construction business was thriving, Chung wanted to return to his old passion: cars. This time, he thought bigger than just car repairs. In 1967, he established Hyundai Motors. Soon, Hyundai partnered with Ford. The Cortina was a famous car at the time, so Hyundai agreed to use Ford's technology to assemble the Cortina and sell it in South Korea under the Hyundai brand. This partnership was successful, and Hyundai grew significantly. However, the South Korean car market was small, with an estimated market of only 30,000 cars, leaving little room for growth. Hyundai wanted to export the car internationally, but Ford disagreed, stating that their agreement was only for the South Korean market. This led to the end of the partnership between Ford and Hyundai. Chung quickly found a new partner, Mitsubishi Motors, which agreed to provide car production technology to Hyundai. With this deal, Hyundai produced its first car, the Hyundai Pony. The car was priced very low, which made it popular in the market. Soon, Hyundai became South Korea's largest car company. However, since the South Korean car market was small, Hyundai decided to export the Pony internationally. The car was successful in several countries, including Canada, but Hyundai wanted to launch it in the US, the largest car market. However, the car didn't meet US federal emission standards and was rejected. Chung didn't give up and made further improvements to the car. Finally, an improved version of the Pony, called the Hyundai Excel, was launched in the US. The car was priced at around $5,000, half the price of other cars, which made it sell quickly. However, its low price also led to jokes, such as, if you fill the fuel tank, the car's weight doubles. The car's quality wasn't great, and customers often had to get it repaired. Eventually, the Excel flopped badly in the US, but Hyundai didn't give up. They worked harder, improved their engines and parts, and introduced new models. These new models gained popularity not only in the US, but also in other countries. This time, the quality was good, and the cars were affordable, making customers happy. Soon, Hyundai became one of the world's largest car companies. Chung Ju-yung, who started his journey by selling rice, had now become the owner of a successful multinational company. Due to old age and declining health, he retired and handed over the company to his sons. Chung passed away in 2001, leaving behind the world's third largest car manufacturing company. But here are some facts about Hyundai that you might not know. The Hyundai logo doesn't represent the letter H, but two people shaking hands, a company representative, and a satisfied customer. Hyundai's manufacturing plant in Ulsan is the largest in the world, capable of producing 1.5 million cars annually. Worldwide, Hyundai produces over 6 million cars each year. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and share it, and thank you for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing video.